Skye Riley is a musician who happens to be incredibly famous. We meet her at the beginning of the movie. She is about to embark on a world tour, and a lot of weird and strange things begin happening. Begin happening. That doesn't make sense. A lot of strange things start to happen, and what's going on internally begins to really unravel as the movie goes on. I was a fan of Parker's. I'd watched his short film in 2020, which was Laura Hasn't Slept, and I thought it was amazing. And cut to a couple of years later when the movie came out, I was like, oh, I have to watch this. And so watched it in the cinema, and I've just been a fan. And so when I met him about this, I didn't actually know anything about what his plans were. And he started talking about Skye. And I just thought, wow, this sounds like such an interesting character. We were supposed to have like a 30-minute conversation, and it was 2.5 hours. And I think the best thing creatively when you're working with someone is when you meet them and it begins to feel like you're already working, if that makes sense. And you're already bouncing, back and forth, things you love, movies you love, and talking about character and things. So that's what it felt like. It was kind of an instant click. And then I read the script and I felt like, okay, this really does deliver on what he spoke about. And I was just so excited to play her because I just felt like she was very complex and interesting. As it pertains to being a musician and being a very famous musician, and in that way, I think that's something that was more things that I've observed and things that I guess we all have watched and see. It was more in terms of my own personal experience as a musician. That was more what I could bring to the writing process or the crafting of Skye, and actually in the studio and getting to co-write some of the songs. And that's the part that I was kind of able to tap into some things. However, also really lent into the character of it. It really doesn't sound like me, which was so much fun because I could kind of, we had 2 songs that were already written 3 songs when I was cast, 2 of which were written and produced by Ida Rose, and it was her voice on the demos, so she was kind of like my blueprint, and I really lent into that. It doesn't sound like me at all, and that's what I want. I want it to be Skye's sound and Skye's music. So yeah. When we first met, Parker is just the most intense, enthusiastic person, creative and visionary. And that is what that's what you want in a director, because he, of course, he cares so deeply, but also I just trust I trust him in terms of just everything's a trust exercise. It always is, right? But it felt like, and he's such a collaborator, it felt like he really trusted me. And so to kind of go from that first initial meeting, to actually get in the trenches with someone and feel like you still are partners, especially because it was a very demanding movie and just hard and, real kind of grit and blood, sweat and tears. So to come out the other side and feel like this is still my creative partner and we're still really have that trust is one of the things I'm probably most proud of in terms of this process. And he's amazing. I absolutely love working with him. And he was, of course, imperative to helping me in terms of where Skye was at, when, and how to. Sometimes I'd be like, am I not doing too much? And he's like, no, trust me. So and he pushes you, man. Like, he really pushes you, like, in the best way. That's what you want as a performer. You can expect everything that you love from the first movie, but just bigger and crazier and more unhinged, and stakes are higher in the sense that we are living with a public-facing person.